let's not call it an interesting week in the Premier League. It was a god-awful week in the Premier League. And I mean, begin the week, I know we wanted to talk about Arsenal to start, but there was a game on Friday between Brighton and Chelsea that ended 3-0. Chelsea Football
Yeah.
Club, you deserve to rot. I hope that everything goes wrong for the rest of this season because your manager, we were wrong. You know, there was a point of time that we said, you know what? Maresca's a genius. He's saying they're not in a title race. Unfortunately, what we didn't realize is they don't have anyone on their team that has the proper mentality that when their manager says results don't matter, goes out and says, actually, the results do matter. But they don't. And they've played for the last 3 weeks like the results don't matter. And now they're battling to get top 4. So it is an absolute embarrassment.
I would argue that's very strong words from you, Nick. That's very strong.
It's
I
harsh.
don't have anything to, I don't really have anything to add to this. I just would like to point out that that's pretty harsh.
Smitty, I don't even think it's that bad because I didn't even want to start with Chelsea and Brighton because I was going to get angry. But now that we're here, did anyone see any highlights? Did anyone watch the game?
Yeah, I mean, I saw Matoma's goal, and that was really the only thing I needed to watch for that game.
Right. So I'll quickly on Brighton. So Matoma's goal, the touch out the air from the 70-yard ping, bottom corner, brilliant. I think everyone across the front three, and then Danny Welbeck up top, very, very good. That Reuter, like I think he was from Leeds before, but now like actually seeing him like ball out, he was class. And then Minte, how do we say his name? I don't know.
Whatever the hell you want.
Minte.
Right. I don't know.
Well, shout him out, a brace. He was up and down the pitch. I haven't seen fitness like that in a while. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but 2022 World Cup, fresh off of our college careers, we were watching Australia versus Argentina in Carson City. Does anyone remember this?
I think I was gone at this point in time.
I do not.
Well, we were watching them, and it was like midday since it was in Qatar. In Australia, like, they were down like 1-0 or whatever late in the game, and he came on the pitch. And I had a bet for Australia to upset Argentina. And then he ended up, like, missing a really good chance. And I had, like, a vendetta against him. But now that, like, seeing him actually ball out for Brighton and play, I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
I didn't know he was Australian.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
To be honest with you.
there's not many of them out there, but
I was going to say.
salute. Okay.
Last thing I want to say about Chelsea before I get really harsh, Cole Palmer has 3 goal contributions in his last 10 games.
Yeah.
That is not
silent.
acceptable if you're a Cole Palmer. I'm sorry, but that is not good enough.
I hear it, but I think I want to go to the other strike force with him. Christopher Nkunku. Conversations need to be had because remember when I told you guys about how he didn't move within like 10, 15 yards against City? That was one of the worst displays that I've ever seen. Because he was just he's wasting everyone's time. You can't be blowing balloons in Conference League and then putting up stinkers against Brighton. This is the second time Brighton beat him in 6 days.
What is his best position?
Bench. Left bench, right bench, maybe at the balloon store. It doesn't matter. Like, it's just not good. But
when's Nicholas Jackson back?
I think he's out for the year.
Honestly, I have no clue.
Or a couple weeks at least.
That's disgusting for them.
I don't think they're going to get top 4.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: they can't get top 4 because then you have freedom fighter Jadon Sancho commenting on Rashford's pictures about being free from Man United and all this stuff. Brother, they're free from seeing you play week to week because there's nothing you do except run like... Nope, won't say that. That was going to get cut. But there's nothing you do. There's nothing you do that excites fans anymore. There's nothing that really... Yes, there's nothing... Like, he just runs at the opponent, thinks he can do something, and
That's
then he gets
exciting.
tackled. You see it over and over and over. Like, this repetition's annoying. And it's just like, what are you there for? What are you there for?
Probably like $200,000 a week if I had to guess. That's probably
Good
why
guess.
he's still playing and not retired.
I mean,
Look, as a guy who likes to run at guys and have the ball taken away from him, how does that make you feel? That Sancho is
I think he needs to spend less time on Instagram and more time on the training ground.
See, I kind of like that tweet. I kind of liked it. I was like, yeah, Man United's the problem. I think if there's anything we can determine, is Man United is the problem.
Well, why would anybody think it's a good idea to either buy or loan a player that was at Man United? You should know that's not a good idea.
I mean, I think Anthony's saying it is a good idea.
no. What
Look at
Anthony's
it.
doing, what Anthony is doing is ruining La Liga's reputation. But
No, he's saying
There's a
he's
lot
saying
of
Man
people
United is the
online
problem.
that are not going to like that you said that, but
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you because there's no way that this man was that bad and now he's scoring every
Dude.
game he plays in.
People keep saying he was that bad. I just never saw him on the pitch. So, all I'm seeing is him balling out. And I'm like, all I need is Rashford to start going off here. And, maybe Sancho to get it going. And then it's looking real bad for the Red Devils.
well, speaking of another devil on that Chelsea pitch, we can go to Levi Colwill. Guys, well, Jacob, you're a center back. Partially, because we'll get there. You can't get shoved off the ball by a forward and then complain for 15, 20 seconds and then get scored on. It's simply not good enough.
If
All
you're getting
this-
shoved off the ball, if you're going down, he's got to go down with you. You just can't have that.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't care.
Exactly. And the fact that he actually did that, acting like he's been playing well enough to even have the luxury to do that, it's just not good enough. It's not good enough. I went thrifting this weekend. I know, some good finds.
Wow.
I won't share them yet. It was very good. But here's the thing. I saw a bunch of Levi pants, Levi jackets,
You don't
all
like
this
those.
Levi stuff.
You don't like Levi.
No, I just think his name suits perfectly for how he's playing. Put on the Levi's.
Okay.
Take a seat. Take a rest. There's no need for him to put on the cleats. There's no need for him to put on the socks. There's no need. He's wasting everyone's time. This whole season, he's been average. So average.
That would
And
make sense if he'd put on the Levi's and Caicedo put on the Timberlands and then they ran the middle of the park together. All they'd need is Nkuku to run around with a hammer. And then they'd be basically ace hardware on the pitch.
Bob the Builder, baby.
This is the place for the helpful hardware.
But Caldwell, the way Chelsea plays, he completed 114 passes. Now, I'm not a genius. I know you want to have your center backs on the ball, but your center back completing 114 passes, you probably don't want your center back to have the ball that much, right? I mean, that's a lot of time on the ball.
You know what the problem is? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Benny.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, I agree. I mean,
Chelsea
up and forward,
had-
baby.
They had 70% possession, 0 shots on target. I mean, what are we doing?
It sounds like Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm not saying pump it, but it's eventually you got to go forward. If you complete 114 out of 122 passes, you're probably not being brave enough on the ball.
This is what it is again. Pep's ruined this league. Everyone thinks they just pass. I mean, what happened to the good old-fashioned English-style football where you just, pump it up there? I miss
The problem is, though, it's not Pep's style of football that the
Yeah,
best
no
teams
one-
in the
no
league
one-
are playing
yeah.
anymore, though.
Well, they think they are, but they're not. They're like, we got to pass the ball. Keep it on the deck. No. Save that.
the teams that are struggling are honestly the teams that just aren't good enough. And then the teams that have players are trying to play that style, and it's not working. Bournemouth, Forest, they don't
they're
play
doing
that
pretty good.
bullshit.
No.
They just go after teams, and I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I would argue that Forest and Bournemouth are some of the most fun teams to watch this year.
I mean, it's a take, but I think we can wrap up on Chelsea here because, like Mucky said, I don't think we really processed it. They had 0 shots in 90 minutes. Watching the game, it could have been 300 minutes, and Chelsea was not going to get a shot on target. There's no soul in that team. This is a team that usually is in a final of something, usually is picking up trophies. They won the Champions League 4 years ago, and you can't get a shot on target against Brighton?
That's crazy.
Do we blame the 1.5 billion that the owner spent? Do we blame the manager? Do we blame the players? Who is to blame for this? And then we can move on.
I mean, they blew up the whole team that won the Champions League. I know the majority of them were old, but there's a lot of teams that are just moving on from people way too fast, and it's not working out for them.
I agree. Benny, Mucky, any final thoughts before we leave Chelsea?
Nope. Maresca ain't kidding. They are not a championship winning team.
Yeah, but I still don't like that he said that. Looking back on it, I don't like it because he basically told them it's the same thing Amorim did. Like, I don't care about our league position. I just want to play good football. Like, well, guess what? You're not playing good football and you're losing every week.